Sup, people? All right. Today I want to vent. All right. The Pinky Rant. The rant is about trainers and lack of self confidence in a trainer. How easy it's seen between trainers and stuff. I think it's really important if you're gonna be willing to teach people. You've got to have the belief in what you're teaching. Enough to step out of your comfort zone often. So whether it be letting your fighters step up, obviously within reason, like you don't go nuts and let them fight stupidly good opponents when they're just coming up through the ranks, or fighting for world titles after 10 fights or something. Padding your fighters' records because you're scared to lose, because the only thing you have is your gym's record. You don't have skill, like just running on skill. Like my gym record, if I talk wins and losses, is pretty fucking average. But I don't think many of our guys get in and don't have a good Thai style, look clean, everything like that. This is not a bragging game. I'm talking in general. I just wanted to refer to, I'm proud of what I do. I know what I'm talking about as far as technique and skills go with Muay Thai. But you see a lot of trainers, I've been worldwide, I've seen it worldwide, where trainers will only let their guys fight on certain shows, will only let their guys fight certain people, nearly always fighting people less experienced than them, or someone who is just a journeyman. Like everyone, every person they fight's a journeyman instead of, reputable opponents. I believe in giving your fighters tough fights always. They don't always have to be taking 5 steps at a time, but as long as every time they are challenged in the fight. It's not just about getting in there and bashing someone, getting another win on your record. But unfortunately, people make it about the wins and losses way too much. It is Muay Thai, by the way. Anywhere in the world, you ask someone how many fights they've had in Muay Thai, and they'll tell you how many fights they've had. You ask them their wins and losses. A lot of people don't even know. It took me a long time to work out my wins and losses because I gave up on even counting because, living in Thailand, no one actually gives a shit. They just care how many fights you've had. You've got to, as a trainer, to be respected in Muay Thai. People want to know that you take fights, you're easy to deal with promoters. Sorry to get the sun in my eyes. With promoters, you're easy to deal with, and you don't always just want everything your way. Whether it be, normally you fight at 60 kilos, but all of a sudden you have a matchup at 60 kilos, and it's like, oh no, I don't want that. We're only fighting at 58. Well, the fighter was nominated at a certain weight. They should just take it. You have a weight range that you guys can fight in, and you go with that. For title fights, it's a little bit different. You obviously have your set weight for a title fight, whether it be 2 weight classes like 70 and 72 and a half, or whether it be 63 and a half and 66 and a half. But you have your favoured weight division. Like for instance, with my boy 50 Shades, he can fight at 65 all day long. If it's for a title from now on, it's 63 and a half. 66 and a half is too heavy for him. But anywhere between 63 and a half and 65, come title fight time, 63 and a half kilo is where he'll be fighting. But fight anyone in between your weight ranges. You obviously don't go, as I said before, like ridiculous with stepping up. You step up within reason. If a guy's got 10 fights and you're on, say, 6 fights, there's no reason why you can't take it. As long as they're not a knockout artist. That's the only thing you got to look at. You don't care about the wins and losses. You care about whether they got knockouts, because that's where you risk your less experienced person getting damaged. Okay, they don't have a big knockout record. They might be 10-0, but you've always got that chance to be that first loss on their record. You just got to know that your fighter's safe and that they're stepping up with your guidance. That's where the confidence of a trainer comes in. if you can't let your guys step up, then obviously you don't have any confidence in what you're teaching. So really important, start researching the art, start learning more and more about the art, learn the game, learn the chess match of Muay Thai, so that you know you can step up without risking you guys too much, but risking a loss every time. You need to risk that loss. And I don't mean just the whole, there's always a puncher's chance. Fuck a puncher's chance. That's in every single fight. Obviously, if someone who can't punch, you don't have to worry about that. But the metaphor, where do I even go with that now? Bit lost. Yeah, so you literally need to step up every time someone takes a fight. No fighting bums. If you're offered something and they got a good record and you take it and you bash them, so be it. Doesn't have to be in your favour every time. I can't count on one hand how many times I've taken fights that are a guaranteed win for our guys on paper before the fight. I think we're known for stepping up, and I'm proud of that. And people think I'm bragging, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I love what I do. I love how we do the game, and we've earned a name for it. So I think it's something, a leaf a lot of people can take out of my book. Start stepping up, start fighting everyone. It's how it should be. Doesn't always have to be in your favour. If you believe in what you're doing, it shouldn't really matter what, you should be able to take the risk. Plain and simple. If you don't believe what you're doing, hand feed your fighters. And unfortunately, it is seen a lot of hand feeding. Yeah, normally they fight at 51, but there's a chance at 52 for someone with less experience. There's no reason why he couldn't step up, or why he can't step up in weight a little bit, or that 52 kilo person taking on the 51 kilo person with a lot more experience. No reason why it can't happen. Same with even in the bigger weights, like the smaller weights. Obviously, you've got a little bit more room to play with, but probably 50s is probably a little bit too low to use as an example. But 70. Say you got a 70 kilo boy, and there's someone who's had half the experience, but they're around 72 and a half. That 72 and a half kilo guy should step up against the 70 kilo guy. There's no reason. It's absolutely ridiculous if they don't, because there's actually something goes in their favour. I always say you either need to have, if you're taking a step up, it needs to either be experience or weight. So choose one or the other. Don't go up in experience too much, or don't, if the weight is heavier as well. If the weight is not heavier, then go up in experience. If they're not very experienced but they're heavier, take that one as well. So hope that's some food for thought. No doubt someone will disagree with it. Perfect. Let's discuss it. Let's give me a couple of days and I'll bring something else out. So thanks for listening, everyone. Peace.